Hello there and welcome back. Well, we've got a fabulous hour dedicated to some of the products that we see from Pink Frog. They do all sorts of fabulous things and we have got a brand section for them. But we're going to be focusing on some of the familiar favourites and some kind of favourites that are familiar but also new at the same time. I'll explain more in a few moments. But I've got joining me the lovely Claire. And Claire, you're going to be doing some amazing demonstrations. Looking forward to this.
Hopefully, yeah. Looking forward to it.
Well, just saying about, we've got some familiar favourites like the Super Smooth. We love our Super Smooth.
We do.
But this first item, we've not seen it in this kind of configuration before.
No, we've never seen it in what I would call like a volume pack.
Yes, yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, so to get that much Super Smooth in what I call one of our kind of speciality sizes.
Yes.
So we've done the boxes like that in A4 and A5, but we've never done it in our like 15 by 30,
well,
which is what we've got today.
That cut that we can see, 21 by 30.
Thank you,
That's
sorry.
Okay, don't worry, 21 centimetres being kind of the width of your A4, we're kind of used to that. But when you usually get your A4 cardstock, it's actually cut to, is it 29.7, I think? So it's just shy.
Yeah.
So this is very, very slightly longer. Now you might think, well, hang on a minute, what's the difference? 0.3 mil. Well, the difference being is 30 is easily divisible. Divisible, is that the right word? Yeah, did say divisible, divisible? Yeah, you know what I mean, dividable. I don't know, overcomplicating things there. But it means that you can get those fancy folds in, and this is something that's really important. You're getting 160 of those sheets, but in addition to that, you are going to get your instructions. And I love this because you have got a whole host of different styles of card bases, and that's why those whole numbers, those complete numbers, make it so easy. You can fold at 7.5 centimetres, you can fold at 15 centimetres, because it's easy to do that. You're going to be able to find the halfway points and those different sections really easily, and I know Claire's going to be taking us through some of those. The beauty is as well, when it comes to you, my goodness, I'm not going to hold this for too long. My goodness, you are getting it in a storage box, which is brilliant because you know what it is. When you get it out of here, it's white cardstock, you might not necessarily know it's your Super Smooth, but while it's in here, you know.
Yeah, and I love those boxes, and just for me, then I can just use it all the time. I love them. And
it's protected, it's kept clean, it's not getting dog-eared or anything like that. So bumper bundle, my goodness. Can't believe that we're able to actually say, now think about this for a moment. If you're a Freedom member, that price is delivered to your door. Now, if you're not a Freedom member already, then you're going to be paying additional post and packing. Don't do that, though. Because that's well on the way to paying your first Freedom membership, you're only talking about an extra couple of £3. Become a Freedom member at the same time, and then for the whole calendar month, your post and packing is covered. So it makes sense to go for this. If you're not a Freedom member, become a Freedom member at the same time. But I don't think our buyers have thought about it. The weight of this being shipped to you for just £4.95 anyway is phenomenal. Anyway, I digress. 710883 is your item number if you're wanting to get involved with this one. And it's a fabulous card stock to start with, because when you're making your card bases, you just got that lovely finish to start with.
It is, and what I love about it is I can make my card bases, but also I can do all my techniques on it. So then the piece that I mat and layer in it matches my background, so I'm not getting like different shades of white on my project.
Okay, fair enough.
So and the fact that you can use it for all of your techniques, all your inking, your stamping,
that's a good point.
your watercolouring, you can use alcohol markers on it.
I love it. Now you've got your ball tool at the ready, I can see they're ready and raring to go, so I'm going to hand over to you, but I'm going to let you guys know that already 60% of the stock has gone, so if you're wanting yours, you need to be quick. So what are you going to show us
So
first,
I'm
Claire?
just going to show you a couple of the folds, because we talk about this all the time and very rarely show you, so we thought, I think especially working with Richard this morning, who's a little bit newer to craft, brings it home that not everybody has seen even basic folding before. So if we wanted a half fold, we just look at our instructions. Mine are a bit shiny because they're laminated to keep them clean, but it says score at 15. Straight away, you've got what is essentially an A5 card straight away. If I want to, if I can turn that, if I put another fold in that at 7.5, I get a Z fold, and this is one of my favourite folds. I like a Z fold. I like being able to pop things on the front of there.
Again, and no measuring done. It's just follow that line on the board.
Definitely. Tri-fold, and we're going to use one of those in a minute.
So yeah, 30 divided by 3. Even I can do that in my head. 10
exactly.
centimetres.
It's just so brilliant. So just 10 and 20. And this is what I do love about it. So if my crafting mojo has disappeared, I'll quite often just get some card out, do some folds and think, oh, I've got an image that would look great on there, or a die cut or whatever that might be. Gatefold.
My goodness, another one. Wow.
Yeah, so if you bought a pre-folded card, you couldn't do this.
Okay.
Because you'd obviously have a centre fold in it already.
Yeah.
And 22.5, so 7.5 from each side. And again, just fold that in.
Perfect.
There you go. We'll do one more just to show you, and this is a side gatefold, so it's just slightly offset, 10 and 25. And you just layer these together, and then you've got easel cards, pop-out cards.
So much you can do with this.
Your
I'm just going
inverted
through.
stepper.
I've got a whole host of card bases here. So Claire's showing you some of those. I may well cover them again as we're going through these. But again, you can see you kind of almost got a little stage card, or it could be that you're doing it that way round. It's almost like a little doorway then, isn't it? And of course, folds flat. So it's all about those folds when you've actually got these. And the instructions for each and every one of these is included. Again, a side stepper. So here you can see you've got that little recess in the middle there, giving you that little framework. Equally so, you could use it on the side if you wanted to and have it in that particular style. And it's all about getting the folds in the right places, because when you've got those bases and you've got those folds where you need them to be, it means you're going to get those different results. Whatever it is that you're choosing to create, whatever style you're working with, all of these featuring within there. We actually think that you've got about, is it 10 or 11 different folds, I think, featuring with these. And again, it could be that you're doing that on the other way around, turn it into an easel card. Even if it's just simply that you're wanting to create a card base, then you can do that, and you've obviously you score down the centre. But then if you add in an additional couple of folds on another piece of card, then you are really opening up the different opportunities, giving you perfect bases for you to then go on and add your decoration, add your detail, add your die cuts, and have absolutely loads of fun in the process. So for just £16.98, you are going to get all of these. You're going to get your 160 sheets in the box. Brilliant value for money. And as I say, it's 21 centimetres by 30 centimetres, giving you that easy dividing number. 30 divides up so many different ways. You'll be able to use these over and over again. 710883. But what about looking at these and seeing the different things that we can do with them? So we've got shall I bring the boards forward, or shall we leave them where they are? Let's bring them forward. So, oh, hold on a minute. Oh my goodness, I thought the cardstock was heavy. Right, let's bring these in and show you. So different techniques, you'll be able to use them a variety of different ways. So might be that you're using it alongside your gesso, getting a nice base there, using your textured paste, gilding wax, embossing folders and gilding wax, beautiful with these. Your stencils, it's giving you a lovely base for your multi-layer stencils potentially. And then what about your stamping? Getting your stamps out, doing a little bit of watercolouring with your pencils, then you can do that easily. Or your pens, whichever way, it's not going to worry, you don't have to worry about the amount of water that you're using with these as well. And then you can see them with your alcohol markers as well, doing all your different techniques. That is our first board. We've actually got 3 of these boards. I'm going to pop that one down there because they are a little heavier than I thought they were. Then we've got heat embossing. Heat embossing to perfection. You've got that lovely smooth finish, which means your stamp's going to stamp out perfectly, which of course means that your heat embossing is going to be absolutely spot on. Die cutting, even if you're cutting away a large area, as you can see with that die there, you've still got the substantial weight of the card that will allow you to create your beautiful die cut shapes. Embossing, no cracking going on there as well, absolutely beautiful. And of course, if you've got your embossing folders, you might be having a go at your letterpress techniques as well, which you can do with this beautifully. Construction card as well, it's got a really good substantial weight to it, so if you're making something that's almost like a framework, then you can do. And if you're just simply wanting to doodle on it, you've got that lovely finish. Equally so, paper techniques, so if you're doing things like your distressed paper or your leather look papers, you can do that with these as well. And then right at the end over there, you can see if you are actually working with things like your plastic stencils, so you know when we kind of see your stencils on the shows, not your embossing stencils, but when you're getting those different technique ones. And then this is when it gets really interesting, because of the style of the cardstock and the substantial kind of density that you've got with it. You can use it in so many different techniques where you're using inks, where you're using water, because you don't have to worry. You won't get that pilling, you won't get that kind of worn away look with regards to this, unless you're wanting to sand it or distress it. But you can see here whether it's your distress oxides you're using, whether it's your paint, your acrylic paints, your sprays, your watercolour paints we spoke of as well. There's absolutely loads you can do with these, and you know that it's going to cope with it. That's why it's a brilliant one to have in your stash. It's kind of going to be your go-to card. So whatever technique you're wanting to do, you're not going to have to think, well, hang on a minute, if I'm doing this and I'm using a lot of water, is this going to happen? It's your fail-safe. Go to it time and time again with a phenomenal deal, as you can see. 710883 if you're liking the look of that. But we were talking about stamping. So Pink Frog also bring us some amazing stamps. These are perfect for the season, Claire. They're cute.
So this is a roundup of our kind of Christmas offering for this year, really. So, and what's been really nice is to be able to use all of the stamps together and mix and match them and bring the odd die in, and yeah, it's been really good fun to have a good play with them.
I love it. Now you're going to get 10 stamps, which is £14.95. An incredible amount of detail with these. They stamp out beautifully. We've got a slidey card there. I thought he was going to knock everything over. But the beauty is that you've got the perfection with the print, not only because you're using gorgeous stamps that have got a lot of detail, but of course that super smooth as the base gives you that wonderful result. Well, wonderful. So is that when you're doing all your different techniques and doing all your different styles of cards, then you know, it's kind of like your fail-safe. It's your go-to, you know that with the stamps and the super smooth, you're going to get lovely results every single time. Absolutely beautiful, as you can see. So if you like the look of this particular stamp set, then the details are there on your screen, just £14.95. Incredibly affordable, 628858 if you're liking the look of those. But of course, when you're creating your projects, whether it's a Christmas project or a birthday project or whatever, a celebration, we want to put a sentiment on there, don't we? And this is a lovely one. You've almost got like an ombre look with these, which I think is a brilliant look. You've got 20 stamps, again, incredibly affordable, and it's a style that lends itself so well to different styles. You've also got things like your sentiments individually, as you can see, they're larger, but you've also got kind of versa elements with these as well. So again, a nice set, this one, Claire.
They're lovely. So like you say, that kind of ombre look means that if you use embossing powder with them, it's quite nice, but it's also nice to colour those bits in at the bottom as well. So yeah, they're beautifully
gorgeous. It's kind of got a bit of a retro look to it, isn't it? I love that background that's been created using it, multi-stamping it. But again, using it almost as a more of a subdued look, which you can do. Utilising things like the poinsettias that you've got in there as well, adding detail inside and out. Absolutely beautiful set. So if you're liking the look of these, this one's almost got like a watermark effect on there, and of course you can see that gorgeous stamp detail with sentiments coming through again. So £14.95, brilliantly affordable, and 224337 is that item number for those. Now, snow globes. Snow globes are for all year round, to be honest, aren't they? Lots of people do collect these, and I love this set because you've kind of got your open snow globe waiting for you to add your detail and your content. So this is a really good size stamp. This one, you've got so much scope.
It's beautiful, and you'll see with some of the samples, as well as using the stamps that we've got in that set, we've used dies occasionally. I think I popped some carol singers in one of them. So yeah, again, that versatility. But yeah, you could put anything you liked in there, so turn it into a birthday globe.
Could indeed, yeah, definitely. And you can see there, I love this. This is a very effective one. Lovely Tracy's done this one. You can see where the background scene is kind of coming through to the foreground there, so it's almost like you're looking through that ball. This one's a pretty one as well. I love this. The lovely Katie's done this one, where she's kind of created it as an embellishment to sit on the top. But of course, it's not all about the snow globe. You're going to have all those elements, so you can build up scenes if you're wanting to get some really contemporary styles with regards to this. And again, this is something that, I mean, this particular one, yes, it's got Christmas greeting on there, but that could be the backdrop for any style of card, really, couldn't it?
Absolutely. So if you've got like little fairy stamps and things like that, they'd look lovely in front of those trees.
And then what about making your own backgrounds? Well, you can do that with these as well. Absolutely beautiful collection, and again, incredibly affordable at £14.95. If you like the look of those, then the details are there. 636394. But the last one that we've got for you, this is for your ticket offer on the express train, I think, with this particular one, because you've got little trains featuring with this one, you've got little scenes, and you've got that lovely style of font again. Good size font with this one as well, with sentiments.
Yeah, so the fonts in the Snow Globe and Ticket Express match each other, but one's bigger and one's smaller.
Oh, that's a good idea, because then this one, yeah, you can see it's quite substantial. Where's the one from the, let me bring the Snow Globe in so you can see how they compare. So yeah, definitely if you're going for one, go for the other, because yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
So you can like mix and match and have a small happy and a big
Christmas. And also these little scenes would sit within the Snow Globe as well, wouldn't they?
They both complement each other. So some of the items from the Snow Globe will fit in the ticket as well.
It's a useful little die, that. Sorry, stamp that one, isn't it, with the ticket? Again, Cheryl's been busy using that little scene, as you can see there. The sentiments being substantial sizes, meaning you can use them as a real focal point with these as well. And I love the idea that you could be making little gift boxes with this one. We've got, oh, I don't know what we've got in here. Oh,
it's not chocolate.
Oh. Tickets! Tickets for a trip, like that idea. This is a nice one as well, a little bottle tag. So quite often we do give a bottle of something. It could be a bottle of fizz, it could be a bottle of bubble bath, it could be a bottle of ketchup. It's entirely up to you. But £14.95, 14340 if you're wanting that one. So again, a brilliant value stamp set. They all are, to be honest. And of course you can be popping those into your basket alongside your super smooth card. But we like a bit of sparkle, don't we? Well, this is a brilliant bundle. You've got two different styles with regards to these. I'm just going to grab a little example of something to share with you, because something that I saw earlier on, and I think it might have travelled a little bit, was this particular one, because this one has got that gorgeous kind of, it's almost like a white glitter on a white base, but of course you can change the colour of it if you're wanting to. So this is lovely. You've kind of got an ombre effect, but you've still got that sparkle coming through. And then of course you've got your blue in there as well, which is perfect if you're wanting to die cut it. Absolutely gorgeous. And then again, another lovely way, just simply matting layering with regard to this one. Absolutely beautiful. Love this. White and baby blue, perfect for Christmas.
Just a little bit different, so maybe a bit more of a, you know, more of a modern twist away from your traditional colours.
Isn't it gorgeous?
But I absolutely adore that colour. I think
so
it's beautiful.
Sparkly, and look at the die cutting that's been done with this as well. So it shows that it's a really brilliant quality. £11.99 is your price on this one. So 134868 is your item number if you're wanting to get hold of it. Now that's just a tempting little kind of smorgasbord of some of the things that we've got available. But what about if you're wanting to add your colour to your glitter cardstock, where you can't go far wrong doing it with sprays? This is a lovely bundle of sprays, as you can see here. So you've got 7 sprays here, and this is a nice little collaboration between Pink Frog and Pearlywink. So a lovely combination, costing you just £22.97. Brilliant value for money with regards to this one. Now we regularly see 7-day savers from Pink Frog as well, and you know what, we've got one for you, and it's a good one because it's your collal glue. So useful in so many different ways, and a bumper bottle. My goodness, look at this. We're going large with this one. Full litre for just £15.99. And of course you have got that fabulous kind of swizzle lid. It kind of twists. Swizzle? That's probably not the right word, but you know what I mean. 227990, £15.99 being your price on that one. But of course, Pink Frog always popular in so many different areas, and we've got lovely Claire joining us during this hour. So we've got a demonstration coming up. So what are you making, Claire?
I am going to use some elements from our Snow Globe set.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to take one of the folds that we did before, the tri-fold, but turn it into something a little bit different. So this will pop open.
Oh, that's clever.
That's good, isn't it? So let's show you how to do it. So we've got our tri-fold. So we've already folded this at 10 and 20.
Okay.
And then all I've done is gone, oh, I wonder what happens if I then fold that at 5 and 25. So all of a sudden, this becomes
okay, right,
a double gatefold.
Nice.
So that is the start of our project. So what I'm going to do, let me grab, I'm just going to cover the desk a little bit to try and protect it, because we're going to use some of the sprays.
Okay.
And I want that piece of card. I'm just going to mask off some of this. So with the mask, all I've done is taken the A4 sheet and cut a strip of it, and then these are just some stencils that I've made myself out of the Mylar. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a pencil, because I want to basically use my masket
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, mask kit's useful to have. Now, we have got the Mylar available, so I'm going to pop the details up on your screen, as you can see there. You can get 6 sheets there, 350 microns, a really good weight, and it's actually 12 by 12, so you've got a substantial amount there, as you can see there. Not the most exciting, the pictures, but it's what you do with it that counts. So £11.99 is your price for that one.
I mean, you could just do that by hand, but I quite like that shape that I'd managed to get on that stencil, so I'm just reusing that shape. So I'm going to pop this masket on this half of my piece of card and make sure, especially on that edge, it's stuck down really well. And I've also got a piece of masket that I've die cut a circle out of.
Oh, okay.
So you can die cut masket as well, so if you want an exact circle, so to be our little moon.
And how many times can you use these little masks?
Quite a few.
Okay.
It depends on how wet you get them. If you're just inking over them, probably a few more. But even when I wet them, I'll get a good couple of uses out of them, just let them dry out.
Getting 10 sheets there as well. So, and only using little bits there, as you can see, so £9.99 for those.
So I am going to be using, so the sprays that you just talked about, this is the Anemone Blue, and this is Blue Grotto. So as you can see, I'm using plenty of this. And I'm also going to use the Diamond Pearl out of that set as well.
Oh, okay.
And what I tend to do is I could either heat that, but I quite like letting it dry.
Right.
So what I'm going to do, and what that'll do is it'll move slightly as it dries. But I'm just going to pop that to one side and find one that's already dry.
Wonderful.
So here we go. Look, there's one.
Ooh,
there's one that we've, and it'll dry beautifully. Comes out really well. So now I want to get some of my stamps. So, and we are just going to do these.
So the moon that you've got there and that kind of horizontal line where the masks were removed.
Yeah, so we've just taken those off.
Nice and crisp.
And it comes off no problem. So let me see, so I'm going to stamp this, and I thought, because we'd gone I've kind of gone with a bit of a blue theme with my samples today, so I thought we'd stamp this, and this is the Twilight Versifying Clair, so not the black one, but it's kind of got a bit of a blue tinge to it. And I'm going to put our little deer in there. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to grab our trees. And all we're doing is just building a bit of a scene up. I'll pop one of those the other side as well.
This is so achievable.
It's so easy. And we'll pop a few little tiny trees in as well.
I love it because all the trees that you're working with, and the stag as well, all from that fabulous snow globe set. And it's nice because when you look at these, the first, obviously you're drawn to the snow globe, that's the title of the set, but it's the additional elements in there that are just equally as useful, aren't they, by themselves?
I was going to say, and this one, so this looks just like a little twig. I thought it was a twig when I first got my set. And I was like, oh no, it could use it as a twig, but also it'll let you put a little bit of ground in as well.
That's clever.
So all of a sudden our deer isn't floating in the air. I'll just knock everything flying. We can just pop some.
Oh, that's a useful one to have, isn't it?
It's a brilliant little stamp. There we go. And I am going to choose, let's just go for Happy Christmas. I'm going to pop it on my board. Can I find Christmas? It's there.
Now, of course, within the snow globe, you've got the smaller of the sentiments, and that's what we're seeing here, but the larger version of them are available within the ticket. Same style of font with both of them, same style of greetings, but sometimes you might be wanting a larger style, which if you want the larger style, then the ticket is the set to go for. But if you want the smaller style that Claire's working with, the details are on your screen because it's all part of the snow globe.
Look, you've made me change my mind now.
Oh, sorry.
Don't be. You've made me think I want to do this, so I'm going to use the big and the little together.
Oh, okay, clever. So the big version is from the ticket, isn't it, that we were looking at earlier?
Because I've got quite a big...
Oh, that's a nice combo together, like that.
Yeah, I like that.
That looks good.
Fab. There we go. So once we've done that, all I need to do now is I'm just going to cut this into 3 panels.
Oh, of course, because I forgot. I mean, it looks amazing as it is.
Yeah, so you could just put that on a card and you'd be done. And I want to cut this at 6.5.
Okay, so was this the width of your cardstock to start with?
So this panel was 19.5 by 9.5, so the width is 9.5, so that'll fit the front of my card. I've managed to smudge it, which obviously always happens.
Oh, we'll put it down to the weather.
There you go.
There you go. It's a bit of a blistery day. Blistery day,
and I've
blistery
just
day.
got 3 little panels, and I've done these in black. You could obviously use any colour you fancied. I'm just going to pop each one of these on these panels.
Now, lots of you have been shopping ahead for your adhesive as well. So these are your bottles. So with these, you're going to have your different sizes. So of course, when they come to you, they're ready for you to put your glue into. And you've got your 2 different styles of nozzles and tips with these ones. So again, always a popular item as well. £13.99, so 603282. Now, the adhesive that you might be popping inside them could well be this one, because this is a very useful one. And this one is called, I think it's called your EVA glue. Or EVA glue, EVA I think it is. I think it stands for something, can't remember what, but it just stands for absolutely amazing. So yeah, it's a big bottle of this one, £13.99, but it's a good one to actually decant into your bottles. It's all ready to go. You don't have to dilute it down or anything like that. Just pour it into those smaller bottles for kind of ease of use. 538442 if you're wanting that.
Yeah, the bottles are great because they're easy squeeze as well. So all I'm doing is I'm putting 2 of these panels on the left. So I'm just making sure that that matches the top of my card and the side of my card. And then we put our middle panel. I'm going to use the other 2 panels to help me line that up. Every time you use your glue, if you're not going to use it, obviously make sure you've given it a clean and pop your nozzle back on. So just always remember to do a little bit of housekeeping. About as much housekeeping as I'm doing today. So there we go. That's already done that. And then all I did was just to fill those gaps. I've just sprayed some more of the Super Smooth with those same colours that I've used and cut a little sleeve.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And just pop it in there. And I want you to lie flat for a minute. There you go.
Perfect.
So it just, I mean, you could leave it white, but I thought this just added a little bit more interest, brought those blue colours in, and stopped it kind of being so stark, really.
Yes, yeah.
And obviously you could stamp another message inside as well. But there you go. And then that will
locks together.
Slot together. So it looks like a single panel, but comes apart.
I love it. Thank you.
So there you go.
That's a bit of a bonus, because don't forget, when you do go for your Super Smooth, you are going to get your sheet with all your different styles of card that you're going to be able to do all your folding and your cuts to give you a whole array of different style bases. But what Claire's just given you is a bit of a Billy bonus. So that's an extra one. You're going to be able to learn how to do your stepper cards, your bridge cards, your gatefold, your easel cards. And it's all done easily because you've actually got the dimensions of your cardstock, which makes it nice and easy. So traditionally, we'll be looking at A4 cardstock, which is very, very slightly smaller than the cardstock that we're looking at. We're looking at 30 centimetres with regards to the length of this one. Traditionally, your A4 is 29.7, which makes it very tricky for you to divide up, whether it's into half, whether it's into quarters. But by being 30 centimetres, it means that it's very easy for you to get those divisions with these, which means that when you bring it together and do your folds, you're going to get those fabulous bases to start with. So straight away, as your bases, you've got a whole host of different styles. The instructions are going to take you through these. They're going to be cards that you're going to be able to create over and over again. But that's before you start thinking about the properties that you've got with this cardstock, which makes it a perfect base for you to stamp on, perfect base for you to die cut, and it'll be your go-to. Certainly will do when you've got 160 sheets of it. You're getting a lot in here, and you're also getting a storage box as well. So that means that when it's sitting in your crafty cupboard or on the worktop, you know that in that box, you've got your Super Smooth, and you can see the details are on your screen. It's been a very, very popular one. You've got 160 sheets in there, coming to you for £16.98, and 70% of the stock has gone. So if you're wanting to get hold of this, stock up on it. Maybe you're not needing any just yet. You've got a £5 saving with this, so take advantage while you have got the opportunity, because next time you might not have the saving available. 710883 if you're wanting to get hold of that one. Now, I've been busy with regards to some of the stamps as well, and I like that because these are very traditional style. They've kind of got a bit of a retro look about them. You've got your fabulous little robin, as you can see there, featuring on here. It looks absolutely beautiful. Almost that kind of hand-drawn element with these, so when you're stamping these out, it does look as if you've been doodling and creating some beautiful results. But it's what you do with them. We've shown you some wonderful finished samples, even more here. Building up the pine cones to make your own little wreath. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that gorgeous? Love it. Or maybe you're going to be taking that little element of the pine needles and creating a frame to work around, which I think is very effective as well. On this one, Glittery Kate, as she is known, has created a beautiful card, as you can see there. And again, she's been busy with her distress inks on this one. Now, of course, the beauty is, because of the cardstock that we were talking about, the Super Smooth, you can use it in so many different techniques. This is a beautiful one. Who's created this one? Oh, Glittery Kate again. She's still glittery, still sparkly. She's doing that. I love that. It's almost like a foiled look, isn't it? Very effective. Heather has been working on, I love this idea, chopping into your design as well. Very clever. And keep those tiny pieces, because as you can see, our lovely Claire has utilised those with the stamps, because you've got some smaller stamps as well that will work with these as well. Absolutely beautiful. £14.95. If you're wanting sentiments, though, we've got those featuring other stamp sets as well. So we've got a lovely greeting set, which we're going to share with you. And you've got that lovely kind of ombre look with these. Again, it's a classic style, but the beauty is you can either just leave them as they are because they look very effective, or you can add colour, pop them onto your colour cardstock, and again it's going to look amazing. You've got the poinsettias featuring in this one, incredibly realistic, as you can see, and some really good size sentiments with this. I'm going to go to the bottom of the part there because I don't want to show you the same ones again, but the poinsettias, gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. There, as you can see, all that gorgeous detail in there. Maybe you want to keep it as more of a contemporary style, well, you can do. Keeping it quite simple. It's one of my favourite finished samples. I saw this one last time, and Claire has put this together, which is very, very clever. Creating the Christmas tree, using the words, just getting larger and larger as you work your way through. And again, there's loads of ways you can use these. When you've got good quality stamps, then the world is your oyster, really, isn't it? You can get some wonderful results over and over again. £14.95. If you're wanting to get a hold of yours, then the details there on your screen. 224337. The sentiments that you've got are perfect to add in alongside anything else, but don't forget those kind of important features, things like your glossy accents, which are going to be perfect if you've got things like your holly berries. This will add your depth and dimension, and of course they'll keep the form as well, and it does work as a glue if you're wanting to use it as a glue. But 334127 is that all important item number if you're wanting to get hold of that. So you're going to get a duo pack with that one, which is brilliant. Red liner tape as well. This is the ad that's worth stocking up on these. You're going to get your different sizes with these with regards to the depth. So you've got your 3mm, your 6mm, your 9mm and your 12mm with regards to these. You've got 120 metres in total. The reason being, on each one of those you've got 30 metres. Now you may well have come across red liner tape where you've only got about 5 metres on there. Well, you can see this is definitely worth going for at £13.99. So if you do like the look of that one, then 825810 is that all important item number. But it's a perfect opportunity for you to add these into your basket as well. Your cardstock, glittery cardstock, absolutely beautiful to work with. Got that lovely baby pink with that kind of like an iridescent look on there. So it's kind of like a neutral tone with this one, but when you've got kind of twist and turn it, you've kind of got all the different colours come through on this one. It's the same glitter that has been used on your white version, but the beauty is you can actually change the colour of these if you're wanting to as well. So if you wanted to, you could actually use this on things like your die cutting machine, whether it's you're cutting out your mats and layers. You could be the case that you're cutting out finer detail. This one will have been cut out. I don't know whether it was done on an electronic die cutting machine or a manual one, but you can see there it's actually 2 layers that have been glued together, so front and back. So it's actually die cut, and it's gone through both layers. So in order for it to do that, it just shows you the quality that you've got with regards to this one. And this is another lovely one where the sentiment, again, has been cut from the glitter cardstock, and you can kind of see that backdrop card being utilised there. The little penguins, incidentally, we've got a die that will show you how to do those as well, because we've got it available. And I think we've actually, on the counter now, we've got that die that's creating those Christmas trees, but there you go, a little bit of that sparkle there from that glitter cardstock featuring on there. But for the time being, the details on your screen will get you your glittery cardstock. So 134868, just $11.99. You're going to get both of those featuring in there. And how many sheets have we got? Is it 5 of each? 10 sheets in total? Oh, 20 sheets in total. So, oh, that's a lot of sparkle. If you fancy those, pop them into your basket. Why don't you? But those little penguins, oh, they are so cute. And they come to you in this lovely set. And it's nice because you've kind of got your different styles. So you can kind of build up your little grouping of penguins. Now, I forgot, oh, what's the collective name for penguins now? We've had this on a show before and I should know, but I can't remember now. It's not a parliament, it's a parliament of owls, isn't it? A raft. Oh, is it a raft of penguins? I didn't know that. There you go. Group of penguins is called a raft. Oh, there you go. Oh, if they're in the water, if they're a raft. A waddle, that sounds more like it, doesn't it? A waddle of penguins. That makes it, I kind of like that. 160148. So if they're on the land, they're a waddle. If they're in the water, they're a raft. $9.99. That's a very affordable set, isn't it, to get those in there? And they are so cute. Look at that. Oh, so sweet. And of course that gorgeous sparkle card that we just looked at with the glitter on there, actually die cutting out those little penguins as well. So 160148 if you liked getting a hold of that one. But I tempted you with that tree a few moments ago, and this is an incredible die, well, dies, because you've actually got two different sizes with regards to these. Very, very clever die shape, this one. You're going to get your two dies. Let me just move the Christmas tree out of the way so as you can see. But the beauty is with these, if you stick them back to back, then you can actually create something that is very dimensional. So 4 of them have been put together as quarters, as you can see there, creating something that could actually be a little place setting. Got 2 different sizes within there, as you can see. Absolutely beautiful, and that sort of size would be perfect as a decoration on the tree as well. So if you like the look of those, then just £24.99, 759 362. So Claire has been left alone long enough. Heaven only knows what she's been up to in my absence. But what are you up to next?
I thought, seeing as you were talking about that lovely blue glitter card, I thought we would make this.
Oh, this is pretty.
So again, an extra little fold for you as well.
Ah.
So as well as the 10, you've got this. So we're gonna go ahead and make this.
Fabulous.
So first of all, what I'm going to do is so obviously this is our 21 by 30 super smooth. I'm going to mark it at 5, and then I'm just going to cut between 5 and 25 on my trimmer. And I just want to do exactly the same on the other side. So really easy. I can just turn this round. There we go. So all it's done is cut 2 slits. I'm just going to swap my trimmer for a scoreboard. Grab this. Now, at 5, I want to score between the lines. At 10, I want to score all the way across. At 20, I want to score all the way across. And at 25, I want to score between. And that is the basis of that card.
Okay.
So if we just fold all of those lines.
It's kind of the outside piece is the opposite to the inside piece.
So it's kind of like I think it's a shutter card.
Oh, okay.
I think I do make names up sometimes.
Oh, I do that all the time.
If I'm honest, that one's going to come forward. So when it folds flat, that's what you've got. But obviously it opens up.
Ooh, look at that.
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
So one of my favourite things at the moment is making background papers from stamps.
Okay.
So. And especially these lovely pine cones, they're nice and big, so you make background papers really quickly. And one of the things about making your own background papers is you can make them in the colours that are matching your project.
See, that's a really good point.
Sometimes you're like, I love that paper, but then I've got nothing to go with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about where this is going.
Okay.
And because it's a background paper as well, any little bits that I miss off, again, I can fill those in with different things. I am not going to be too precious about any of this.
And are you stamping onto the super smooth here?
I am, yeah.
Lovely.
I've just cut it down a little bit,
okay.
Just to make it a bit quicker, really.
And what colour ink pad are you working with?
This is Speckled Egg.
Oh, okay.
And although it's kind of got a bit more green in it, it goes really lovely with that blue.
Lovely.
I'm going to pop this on, and then I'm going to kind of show you then how I've filled the gaps in. So because you've got lots of these kind of pine branches, like the frilly bits at the end, if they go over another bit, it actually adds to it. So I'm now going to grab a smaller stamp out of that set.
And it's good because you kind of got the individual components, haven't you?
Yeah, so if I've got a shape where I think this one will fit, I can just start to fill some of those gaps in a little bit. And I then go smaller and smaller, just filling the gaps in.
So that's useful, having all of those different elements, because they all look as if they're from the, well, they are from the same artwork, but different sizes. So,
yeah, so
clever.
you can just go in and put a couple more pine cones in. You can go in, and this one's great, and I will tend to use this one in my hand, because then I can kind of choose how much of it I want to use. So whether I want all of it or just a little bit of it. And again, you can probably use your second, third generation stamping on this as well. And just carry on until you've got a whole piece. It's really, really quick. And I just love that. There's something kind of a bit fabricy about it. I really like it. So then all I've done is I've cut that into panels that are then going to fit on here, which takes a little bit of time, and then matted and layered them onto the glitter card. So I've gone ahead and done that, because you don't want to see me cutting strips of card, but it's really easy. And then all we need to do is pop those down. And because you've made it out of that piece of card, it does have a flow to it.
Okay.
So I'm just going to pop these squares down. But I love that little bit of sparkle that the glitter card adds. It just, again...
And it's lovely because you've got both the light blue and that white coming together so well. And of course you've got the white glitter card, so if you wanted to change the colour of that altogether,
definitely.
You could
so you could do that. You know, you could stamp this in, you know, any colours you wanted really, and just matte and layer anything behind it. But I really like this colour combination. And then what we will do, I'm going to take that one, and we'll just make a little topper. A speckled egg, isn't it? So this is just going to be a little topper for the front of our card.
Lovely.
So again, just adding a bit more detail. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our little robin.
Oh,
and I just wanted him to stand out a little bit more.
Okay.
But didn't really want to kind of go too dark with him, so I'm using weathered wood, and it just worked really well. So I haven't coloured the little robin in, just the shading on him for me was enough just to kind of show
beautiful piece of artwork that
he is. As that's got a bit of wet ink on, so I've got one that I've already stamped, but exactly the same.
It's been a popular set, this one. Over half the stock has gone, so yeah, if you like the look of it, then by all means take advantage. Clara, have we got another show with you today?
No, this is it.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we need to be quick for that one then.
So, yeah. So, yeah, remember, clean the nozzle, put the lid back on.
That's a good tip.
that's me kind of talking to myself all the time.
Now we have got cues on those phone lines, and incidentally, if you are looking at placing an order, and your telephone number is up on the screen there, so just make a note of that one. And if you want to get in touch, placing your order on the phone line, 0330 1755. Yeah, it's on the website. It might be, no. Oh, it is. It's on the bottom. I'm looking at the screen for it, and there's a big piece of paper underneath the camera. So 0330 175 552. I need to get myself a little kind of la-di-da, you know, like la-di-da-da-da, la-di-da-da-da, because that's how you remember phone numbers, isn't it? You need to do a bit of practice on that one. But yeah, the website is the quickest way to get your order in the system. But if you are on the phone using that number, then you might find yourself in a queue.
Oops, that doesn't want to stay on.
I forgot it was under the camera all along. There you go.
I'm going to use foam pads just to stick that on.
These are good size foam pads that you use.
I love these foam pads. So these are the ones that come on the roll where there's like 1,500 of them.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot.
It is. I decant mine. I chop all mine up and just put them in a little plastic tub.
Well, that's a good bit of advice as well.
But yeah.
And then again, just reinforce those folds.
There we go. I'm just going to rearrange it.
In out, in out, in out.
I can't remember which way I did it originally. It doesn't really matter. Either way will work.
Kind of eases together, doesn't it?
It does.
Don't forget, when you're actually getting your super smooth cards, you are going to get 10 base cards, see the instructions of. We've also got the additional one that Claire took us through a little bit earlier on, and of course she's working through this particular one that she's created as well. So the super smooth cards are in brilliant value for money. You've got 160 sheets, £16.98. But of course, do go back and watch on Rewind if you have just joined us, because Claire's kind of given us a couple of bonus designs, because you're going to get a sheet that's going to give you 10 different styles of cards that you can create with the different folds. But then we've got those 2 extra that Claire's shown us during this hour. She was here earlier on as well, so you probably got some extras there as well. But the details are on your screen. Now, your Super Smooth comes to you in quite a unique size. It's 21 centimetres by 30. The reason being 30 is an easier number to work with when you're starting to add those score lines and those folds. If you divide it into halves, into quarters, into thirds, then 30 is an easy number to work with, more so than 29.7, which is what you'd normally have on your A4 sheet. So it's very slightly bigger than your A4 sheet, but it's not just about those folds as well. Nearly 80% of the stock has gone of this, incidentally. You can use it in so many different ways. And Claire, that card that you've created, absolutely beautiful example of one of the ways you can work with it, because it's perfect in so many scenarios. I mean, it's a stamp on to perfection.
It just stamps so beautifully. It just absorbs the ink as well. So yeah, for me, it is my go-to card all the time, and I just love that I don't have to kind of overplan what I'm doing.
Yeah,
so I don't. So if all of a sudden I think, oh, I want to add a bit of alcohol pen or some watercolour, I can do that. I don't have to start my project all over because I've changed my mind, as we do.
Oh, that's it. And you can see here the stamps that we've got on the show as well. They've been very popular. Festive pine cones, bottom of your screen if you're wanting to get hold of those. Make sure you are quick. But don't forget, take advantage of that deal on your screen. Obviously perfect for doing all your different folds, but perfect for your techniques as well. We saw stamping, absolute perfection. But what about all those different other ways that we want to use our cardstock? Things like applying your gesso. Fabulous base. Now, of course, we've got black gesso that's been used on this cardstock here, but it could be a clear, it could be a white. If you're wanting a base to build on, then that is perfect. Then things like your textured paste, you've got a lot of moisture going into your cardstock. You don't want it crinkling and buckling, or with this one, it will be able to cope with that texture paste. Also, as well, if you're popping things through your die cutting machines, not only for die cutting, but also embossing, you might want to put that little slick of gilding wax over the top. Well, of course, it's going to take that wax beautifully. And when it comes to stencils, you could be using a lot of ink with regards to your stencils. So this particular stencil's got multiple layers in it, so you can see it has been used and a great result over and over again. It's not too much liquid that's been applied, it's been able to cope with it. Then when we add our colour, I mean, it could be that you're adding your colour with things like your watercolour pencils, maybe adding that detail, getting your water brush, pulling those colours out. The cardstock will cope with it. It's not going to pill. Not an issue at all. Same goes with your watercolour pens. So again, a similar sort of idea. If you're adding your colour, drawing that colour out, you don't have to worry. But then you might change your design, might decide, as Claire said, you want to use a few alcohol pens in there or alcohol inks. You don't have to worry. The cardstock will work with that one beautifully. And then finally, if you're doing just a good old bit of stamping, it doesn't matter what type of ink pad that you're working with, then you are going to be able to use this cardstock. It's going to be able to cope with it absolutely admirably. But that's the first of the boards. There are so many more other techniques you can do with these, especially if you like your mixed media, because with your mixed media you'll be playing with your ink pads in lots of different ways. So it might be that you're using your distress ink pads and you're incorporating your water, or maybe you're going to be using your oxides, blending them together. These are all the different techniques that we see over and over again here at the craft store, and it's having the right base that will enable you to do so. If you're using distress oxides and adding a little bit of water, again you need to have a cardstock that's going to be able to cope with that additional water. And there's so many different techniques, like the Galaxy technique that you can see there, which is literally out of this world. Then you've got your paint. So whether it's your acrylic paint you're going to be using, whether it's your water-based, whether it's your, well, any kind of paint, to be honest, is a perfect surface to work with. That's nice as well if you're using things like your gel presses and your gel plates. Then you've got your sprays. Again, teaming up with Pearly Inks, guys, you can see they're utilising your sprays, whether it's your pearl sprays or your regular ones, it doesn't matter. They will lend themselves beautifully to these. And also things like your brush shows. If you've got your pigment inks where you're going to be adding those granules, again, you're going to use a lot of water with that. The cardstock will cope with that. And then finally, if you're using different kind of faux techniques, that bleach technique where you're adding a lot of water, lifting out that colour, then again, you need to know that the colour is going to grab, but equally so, it's not going to be flooded as well. It can cope with it. I've got another board to share with you. It's such a versatile cardstock, isn't it? This one, some of those techniques that we've seen throughout the course of the hour. So your obviously your things like your embossing, using your heat embossing tool with your inks, absolute perfect. Die cutting away large areas, you've still got that substantial kind of construction there. Embossing folders, again, getting the depth, that almost looks like a double layer emboss. It's very detailed emboss. Letterpress, again, from your embossing folders, incredibly detailed, but a beautiful result. And then things like your construction, things like your boxes, or maybe you're going to be creating your box front cards, then you have got the substantial nature of the cardstock that it's going to be able to cope with. Things like your doodling, if you're getting your fine detail markers involved, then again, you're going to be perfect with those. And again, your different techniques, whether it's your faux leather, whether it's your distressed paper look, absolutely perfect. And the final one that we've got over there is if you're working with your inks and you're going to be using kind of like your plastic stencils, your mylar style stencils, thin letter grades, but actually putting them through a die cutting machine, perfect. It's a popular bundle, but over 80% of the stock has gone. And don't forget, you're going to get those instructions for all of those different fancy folds as well. So if you fancy the idea of getting hold of this before it sells out, then the details are on your screen, 710883. Not got a huge amount of time left, but we're going to go back over to Claire, I believe. So what are you going to show us, Claire?
We're just going to do a little tag. So I use this on the front of a card, but we can just do it as a little tag.
Okay.
So what I've done is I'm going to use the Ticket Express and the snow globe kind of together. So I've stamped out our ticket and just cut round it. I then want to stamp our little penguins. So the penguins are from the snow globe set. And I'm just going to pop those in the middle of our tag. So like I say, I am loving this VersaFine Claire Twilight.
That is such a cute stamp.
Just that blue colour is lovely. Now this is our masket. So you can see I have used this one before. So I've stamped the penguins onto masket and just fussy cut around it. And then I want to put our little penguins. I am just going to grab a tiny bit of Scotch tape.
Oh, Scotch tape is something that
yeah, I just want to keep the edges a little bit clean. There we go. I can do it. Do one at the bottom.
Useful one for masking off areas as well. If you want any Scotch tape, we've got 2 reels, as you can see, for $14.99 with that one. So yeah, it's a useful one to have in your stash, that one.
And then I'm using this little kind of snow kind of flurry because it means I can get lots of snowflakes down in one go.
Aww.
So I'm going to put our little penguins in a big snowstorm.
They're up to the necks in snow. Claire, we've got about 2.5 minutes left just to give you a bit of a time check.
Absolutely. I'll put my finger in the ink, that's good. And then all we need to do, so you'll see that the Scotch tape just doesn't affect the card in any way.
Away beautifully.
I've got it stuck to my hands.
That's
about right. And then if we just take off our mask, and then, so our penguins have got no, and we'll add a small little greeting just at the bottom. And then you could have these as like gift tags, or you could put it on the front of a card. There you go.
Absolutely.
So
perfect.
we could add a few snowflakes or a little star to the top.
Oh, so good.
There's a little star.
Absolutely adorable.
There you go.
Love it. As quick as that.
Yeah. So I'll leave it there. There we go.
Oh, Claire, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm just looking through these different finished samples that we've got because of the different fancy folds. You're going to get so many different variations of these with that instruction sheet. That's the beauty of this. You'll learn how to create all of these with that instruction sheet that comes in. It's nice and easy because of the size of the cardstock, designed to make it simple. And I think that's the beauty of this one. It's been a popular one though. If you're wanting yours, rapidly approaching limited stock, it's going to come to you in a box. Oh my goodness. There's some weight to this one, and this is a perfect way for you to store it. You know exactly what you've got in there. You know it's going to be your go-to cardstock. You're super smooth, and you know that you'll be using this for so many different techniques over and over again, but only if you are quick. It's the first time that we've seen it in this kind of bulk bundle here. As Claire said, we've never seen it like this before, and you have been loving it. Lots of you stocking up on this one and taking advantage of that deal. And I have to say, Claire, you've been phenomenal. So many different techniques and ideas.
Thank you very much for having me. Big shout out to the design team as always, especially to Katie and Heather who've made new samples for this show, and a big happy 60th birthday to Gwen in the office as well,
Gwen.
to Mrs. Pink Frog.
Oh, Gwen, happy birthday from us all here as well. So thank you, Claire. When are you back again, do we know?
Dawn is back towards the end of the month.
Perfect, we will look out for her, bless her, because she'll be here with all those different memory ideas. Don't forget, we've got a happy hour show coming up. Is this later on today? 5 o'clock. Oh, definitely need to get involved with that one. So make sure you tune in for that one. That'll be a little bit later on. I will see you tomorrow, but I'm going to leave you in the capable hands. Lovely Paola and Nikki coming up after the break. So anything in your basket, really you need to be checking it out, don't you?